Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and this is a Millionaires Club. If you are indeed new here, thank you for stopping by, and if you've been here before, I appreciate you so much for coming back. I really hope, especially those who know me, I really hope you didn't think that I was gonna let this month go by and not be here for Black History Month. I might be in Spain, but for me, Black History Month is wherever I go, okay? And also on top of that, it's my birthday month. Hey, it's my birthday month. Hey. Hopefully I post this either before or on my birthday. February 23rd, if you care to send me a present or a happy birthday wish, I would gladly accept. But beyond that, I am quite literally Black History, so gotta celebrate every year this monumentous occasion. I think it's worthwhile to make a video talking to you guys a little bit about not just this wave of self-discovery that I'm in, but specifically this wave of creative self-discovery. I am in this process of finding myself again, creatively speaking, and it's not a linear journey. It definitely hasn't been one that is easy, but I think as I enter this new year, I'm about to turn 26. Like, oh my God. So that's like grown for real. And this will then be the first year where, one, I'm not working for my previous employer. And two, this is truly the year that I said back in 2025 that I was really going to dedicate to tapping back into my creative self. So I want to talk a little bit about that process, what I've been doing, what it looks like in practice. And I just think that right now it's a very fitting time as I'm about to enter my 26th year of existence. So if you want to hear me yap about being my most creative self and things that I recommend also for those who are trying to also figure out how to tap back into their creative side, please feel free to stick around and watch this video. Before we get started, of course, please, I ain't gonna beg, but I'm gonna say please. Please feel free to give this video a like, comment down below as well if you are in the same process yourself, if you are on a journey of creative self-discovery. I would love to hear from you. Or if you actually know me, like, feel free to text me about the video and share your thoughts, or we can have a conversation about it. I'm more than happy to talk about these things. And yeah. Oh, and if you're not subscribed already, don't forget to do that. Okay. But anyways, let's get into the video. So the first thing that I want to talk about is what I did, I think, to get to the point of where I'm at now, to feel as though I'm fully committed to taking the necessary time to rediscover my creative talents. So this started back in 2025. Honestly, this probably started long before that on a subconscious level, but 2025 was the year where I made a lot of big changes, and that included leaving my previous employer. I had applied for grad school at the time, and then I eventually transitioned to Spain and began my graduate program. And all of these steps were things that I saw as necessary to be able to embark on this creative journey. Not everybody needs to necessarily leave their job, okay? But for me, I knew that I wanted to try to do more work that was actually in the field, or at least the general area where my creative talents could be better cultivated and celebrated more. And that meant then leaving my job, okay? I knew that I'd be making a sharp pivot, a sharp turn into, hopefully, a different industry post-grad. I saw that my time in graduate school could be useful for me to pour into myself creatively and to prepare for what a career in my most to prepare for what a career could look like being my most creative self. Because I really do want to find a career both where I am able to utilize my strengths, continue to push myself, continue to learn new things, and just my talents that I already have. I want the talents that I have to be able to shine and to be able to flourish. And so right now, I'm interested in media. To me, that looks like journalism, looks like being a reporter, that looks like eventually going into broadcast. That would be so ideal. And I know that the job that I was doing previously, I was getting a lot of really great writing practice. I was getting a lot of experience working with executives, helping them both internally speaking and externally speaking with writing and communication, deliverables. But I knew that I could go somewhere else and probably leverage my talents even more. My talents would have the opportunity to shine even more. And so that's why I'm particularly interested in journalism. I'm not opposed to going into other industries, especially if I encounter a position that I feel like is a really great fit for me, and again allows me to still pursue the creative ventures and just the creative talents that I have. But I know right now that I'm really interested in journalism, so I am hoping to make the sharp pivot into the industry after I graduate. I mentioned that this process started last year. I think another thing that I really realized last year was the fact that I tend to think that things will not take as long as they do in reality. I tend to underestimate how much time I need to give myself to accomplish certain tasks. I like to think that I can balance so many things all at once, and maybe that's a bit of time blindness on my part, but I think that I became much more aware of that last year, and in turn started trying to, I'm not perfect at this still, I'm still figuring this out, but I started trying to take steps last year so I'd be prepared this year. And so of course that included transitioning out of the job, that included moving into grad school. I didn't think that I would necessarily be able to have a career in journalism immediately after finishing my previous job. That's also why grad school came into play for me, because it allows me to have a more calm, a more intentional transition into the broader mass communications space. And so that was an act of me slowing myself down, which I think I needed. And I'm really glad that I took this step to go into grad school, because now I also, while I'm not in class, have the ability to develop myself creatively outside of the classroom while simultaneously doing so in the classroom as well. So yeah, this has been several months, over a year in the making. And that's just honestly to get to the point now where I am like, okay, I'm not at the beginning of this creative journey, but I'm definitely not at the end, right? I have still so many things that I want to do and so many things that I want to accomplish and also learn about myself while I'm in this, I would say, this transition period. I feel like I'm kind of in a state of limbo where I'm in graduate school, I'm living in a different country. I could continue to live in this country. I could go back home. There's a lot that I don't know yet. And so I want to use this time, instead of harboring in the uncertainty, to use this time to my benefit, to pour into myself creatively. What does reconnection with my creative self look like? I would say, I'm looking at notes right now so I don't forget to say anything. So if you see me make a glance or two every now and then, that's what I'm doing. Rediscovering my creative self looks like learning by doing. I think that I used to be paralyzed by fear, and in turn I would not do anything. I was, actually, you don't know, but I am the type of person whose notes app looks like a fever dream. I'm not formally diagnosed with ADHD, but if you look up every symptom under the book, I basically exhibit all those symptoms. And my primary care physician was like, you might want to go get tested. I have not done that yet, but I probably should. I say all that to say that my notes app looks like, I said a fever dream earlier. Honestly, I really don't know how to express just how chaotic my notes app looks sometimes, because it's just where I brain dump any and everything every single day. So I was searching for a note the other day, and then I came across a note unexpectedly related to YouTube, and I was writing about wanting to start a YouTube channel back in 2020. That's 6 years ago. Okay, I sat on my behind and didn't really start doing that until several years later. And now I think I didn't really start taking it more seriously until last year, 2025, and now here in 2026. I am not someone who likes to live in the past or live with regrets. So I'm not gonna say, imagine if I'd be here if I had just dedicated more time to my YouTube. I'm not gonna say that, because I don't know where I'd be if I decided to dedicate more time to my YouTube back then. But what I can say is that right now, in the present, I'm glad that I am finally taking action on the things that I set out to do so many years ago. And I can say that if I continue to stay stagnant, if I continue to just let the fear of judgment, let the fear of sometimes being perceived by others, wanting to, honestly, it comes from a fear of wanting people to like you and wanting people to like what you do. If I let those things continue to stop me from posting on here, from creating in general, I'd be staring at another random notes entry of all the things I wish I had done, and I'd probably be reflecting on it kind of sadly, and I don't want to feel that way. And so I am trying to, through this process of learning by doing, I'm coming to terms with the fact that it's not going to look perfect, that it's not going to be perfect. You'll probably notice every single video that I posted on here, I've edited things differently. Every single time I publish a video, I'm learning new editing techniques, literally by trial and error. I'm trying new things out, seeing what I like, seeing what I don't like, seeing what people respond well to, and I'm moving forward from there. It's not perfect. I really, really, really struggled with this at first. I really wanted things to be or appear to be perfect or near perfect. And I realized that was always what was holding me back from actually doing anything at all. And so now that I'm letting that go and just putting stuff out there, it gets easier. I feel more comfortable every single time that I do it. And I also feel proud of myself for just finally saying, you know what, girl, please cut out the BS. Stop listening to the naysayers. Stop worrying about what people think about you, and just do it. I consider myself a very confident person, but the fact that when I really sat down and thought about it, despite all the confidence that I claim to possess, which I do think of myself as a confident person, but you know one area that I clearly wasn't confident, even if I didn't want to admit it at the time, was posting on here. I was nervous. I wanted everything to be perfect. Why are you so worried about things being perfect? Yes, I want to carry myself in a certain way, and I want to represent myself in a certain way, but also at the same time, that came from some kind of internal desire for external validation. And I had to accept that, and I had to recognize that. And so, yeah, now I've been letting that go, and I've just been doing. And there's something so freeing about that, about letting yourself be a little messy and make a mistake or two and not beating yourself up for it. And I know a lot of people like to equate sometimes creative exploration with kind of like childlike wonder, and I think that I'm really feeding into that now. I'm really letting myself play, right? I'm letting myself play like a child. I'm letting myself play and be curious and make mistakes and get a little messy like a kid. And I think that that's what's important for me to be able to create successfully, not necessarily financially speaking, but just truly for the sake of, because it feeds my soul. And so, yeah, I've been still trying to put out good work, but understanding that my process is going to continue to evolve. And one could say that that there might even be perfection in the fact that I am evolving, right? That process in and of itself is worthy of celebration. So I'm here for it. I feel like I just rambled for a while. But anyways, so what are the creative ventures that I am currently doing or pursuing? So of course, graduate school, I'm getting my master's in communication, specifically in international studies on media, power, and difference. It's been very interesting, and I'm really excited for my master's thesis. I have a topic in mind that I'm excited to pursue, and I will be starting on that more intently this coming month. On a personal level, I'm starting a blog. I'm so excited for this. I'm starting a blog. It is quite niche. It wasn't really the point, but like, I want to write about what I want to write about, and I want to enjoy what I'm writing about. So the blog is called Elocí. I'll have it somewhere here on screen. Elocí. If you say it a little bit slower, L-O-C. You get what I'm putting down? Yeah. Elocí is all about all things locs and culture. Full stop. I am kind of operating under the tagline, if locs could talk, they'd have countless stories to tell, because this really came about partially from my own loc journey. I'm a little over a year into my journey now, but I would just see people, especially back when I was living in Chicago, I would see people in the streets of the city, and I was always so fascinated by their hair. I'm curious to tell those stories, curious to learn about them, and I'm curious to share them. And so Elocí will be a compilation of both personal profiles and like media analyses and other just cultural commentary on significant moments from pop culture or from history in relation to locs. So I am so excited about this. I have been playing with the concept now for a couple months. I already have some interviews and some articles written. So yeah, this is exciting. Stay tuned. it will be releasing later this month, if not already, depending on when I post this video. So articles will be posted on Substack, and I also have an Instagram for Elocí, which is by.Elocí. I'll have everything somewhere here on screen, so you can follow, you can tap in, and you can keep up with all things Elocí. Other than that as well, being here on YouTube, obviously, I want to continue to post more on here. This has been a nice experience to be able to be here and just chat with y'all and share a bit more about my experience and just get more practice with being comfortable in front of a camera. Other than that, I would say teaching. Teaching has been, I started teaching on Preply. I will make a whole separate video about this because this has been, there's so much to say and I have so many tips to share, but I started teaching on Preply. It has been so far a wonderful experience. Every time I have a session, I feel more elated. After the session is over, I feel like I'm actually making a difference and helping people, so it's been really, really great. And it's been another really great way for me to flex some of these creative muscles I have through the lesson planning, in the ways that I have to communicate concepts and explain them clearly to people, and leading discussions. These are all things that I do already, and it's just expressing itself in a new way through teaching. So I've been really, really enjoying it. And I'd say the last thing is learning to believe in myself. I mentioned this already. Tuning out the naysayers, focusing on myself and my personal journey, and trusting in the process and knowing that I will be okay. That has also been critical for my success. So I'm really excited to see what the rest of this year unfolds, both here on YouTube, with Elocí, with my graduate program, and I'm excited to share more of that with you guys. I appreciate you guys for being here so far and for making it to the end of this video. If you have anything that you would like to say in the comments about your creative journey, please feel free to share. I'm more than happy to read anytime I get a comment. I appreciate it so much. And also, let me just say, I have over 100 subscribers. All 100 of you, round of applause. Round of applause. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I actually have to go teach right now, so I'm about to go teach a lesson, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please, again, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below, and yeah, I hope to see you in the next one, and I hope that you're also taking the necessary steps to feed your creative soul, because you should. You deserve to. And I think life is worth living when you let yourself be creative and explore your creative side fully. That's all I have for today. I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks so much for joining me today. Take care. All right. See you later. Mwah! Happy Black History Month. Don't ever forget it. And happy birthday to me. Happy Black History Month to me and to you and to anybody else who has a February birthday. See y'all later. Love you. Bye.